Hi everybody, how are you today? I hope you and your family are well. I have a little devotional thought for you, hopefully an encouraging word, and actually something I want to challenge you to do at the end of this little thought. Well, I don't know about you, but I have cleaned out every closet at my house about 3 times. I've washed and cleaned the house 1,000 times over. It's never looked better. I've painted 2 outdoor tables. I mow the lawn every 3rd day, not because it needs it, obviously, but because it's something to do. I'm reading no less than 5 books. I've watched reruns until I can recite entire scripts. I'm doing exercise routines in the garage to YouTube. I've reorganized the garage, cleaned cars, I've walked. Man, have I walked. I bet I've walked 1,000 miles these past months. And tomorrow I'm going to do the same thing again. How about you? I bet you've done all of what I've done and more. You've probably been more productive than me. But you've also probably surprised yourself, maybe discovering some new things to do, discovering some new things about yourself too. And that's a good thing. COVID-19 really has made us a little innovative, hasn't it? It's also made us a little more reflective. What's the old saying? You don't miss something until it's gone. I have really missed our fellowship. I really have. Zoom is great, but it's no substitute for being together person to person and having face-to-face interactions. You know, most of our fellowship occurs, or it used to occur, at Christ King on Sunday mornings. You know, we would meet for worship, preceded and followed by really good Christian fellowship with our friends and relations. And not being able to do this has reminded me just how important Christian fellowship and our Christian relationships are. Now, in the early church, especially if you read the book of Acts, Christians didn't gather in a church building. They gathered in homes. And they probably had some type of worship service, devotion, but an integral part of their faith was being together, having meals together, talking, praying together. The New Testament is filled with instructions and admonitions about our lives together as Christians. Word and sacrament is critical. A good worship experience, a good sermon, are critical to spiritual health. But so too is our fellowship and our relationships with each other. I don't know when we're going to be able to be together again in person, without worry of contracting the virus. It's probably going to be a ways down the road, but that time will come. It will. In the meantime, I want to encourage you to reach out to your Christ the King friends and relations. Give them a call. Write them a note. And not just on Facebook. More than ever, Christians need other Christians. And when you reach out, when you talk, when you email, however you converse, I want to challenge you to with this. Please do not default to politics. Do not default to what is negative. We know what's negative. Instead, keep that conversation above bar. Talk about good things, positive things, accomplishments, past memories, future plans, good things. It's important to note that when Paul writes his letter to the Philippians, he wrote that from a jail cell. And in the same epistle, and in the same miserable jail cell, St. Paul writes those famous words, "Rejoice in the Lord always." I'll say it again, rejoice. It takes effort. It's not easy. But as Christians, the promises of God, the promises of our baptism, the blessings that we have had and that we will have here at Christ the King enable us certainly to rejoice. So reach out to your Christian friends today. Encourage them, pray with them, laugh, reminisce. In many of the New Testament epistles, the writer concludes with parting remarks of friendship. The word greet is often used, like, quote, "Greet one another with a kiss of love." Peter wrote those words. John writes in the last sentence of his second epistle, "The children of your chosen sister send their greetings," end quote. These types of expressions are frequent, and what this tells us is that being apart for them was more often the case than being together. It was and is so important that Christians maintain that strong bond of love and fellowship that we have because of Christ. It sustains us when we aren't together, and it's what we celebrate when we are together. Reach out to somebody this week. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good day and a good week. God bless you and your families.